Norristown's homecoming. The home Eagles will be playing on a lovely fall afternoon, a nice crisp evening, and they're going to be matching up with the Indians of Council Rock in a Suburban One League National Conference showdown. Coming into this ball game, Norristown on the season 4-2, 3-2 in the conference. The Indians into this ball game just a notch better than the Eagles, 5-1 overall, 4-1 in Suburban One League play. And this game, Walt, certainly may have some implications when playoff time rolls around.
That's for sure, Jeff, because in the 2 weeks we've been away here, certainly some interesting things have happened in Suburban One National. There are no longer any unbeatens as North Penn, after knocking off Central Bucks West, went out and knocked off Central Bucks East. So now Council Rock really is in the driver's seat. At 4-1, they're up the top of the division. They have Norristown, and they can still have Central Bucks West to play. So certainly Council Rock in a good position, and then Norristown certainly still in it with only 2 losses. But Norristown, after their second loss, said they wanted to be a spoiler, and they certainly have that chance tonight.
Well, the only chance the Eagles have for postseason play is obviously to run the table the rest of the season here and hope for some good fortune with the other games remaining in this season. As you mentioned, Central Bucks East and Central Bucks West, both at 5-1 atop the division. Council Rock at 4-1, their fate will be known tonight where they stand in all of this. Then you have Truman and North Penn already at 4-2. Theoretically, Norristown wins this game. We could have 4 teams at 4-2 after tonight, and the Central Bucks teams leading the division both at 5-1. And then we have the have-nots. Pennsbury at 2-4, Ben Salem 1-5, the Chamonix 1-5, and poor Abington down there at 0-6.
Yeah, you brought up that you could have 3 teams at 4-2. It certainly presents an interesting demographic when you consider that you have some teams who still think they're fighting for a playoff spot, but also they're playing games against the teams that are above them, so they can also act as spoilers. So it's not just a Pennsbury down there at 2-4 who thinks that they can maybe knock off one of the top teams and make their season. It's a team at 4-2 like a North Penn who's beaten what is right now the 2 best teams in this conference and really thinks that they have a shot with the season they're having.
Well, even on this homecoming evening, if Norristown should happen to beat Council Rock, they certainly have a difficult schedule remaining. They have Pennsbury. Yeah, we said they're 2-4 in the league, but they beat North Penn in between North Penn's victories over Central Bucks East and Central Bucks West. So how do you know who the good teams are?
Well, that's the thing. This conference is really balanced. From top to, you could say, maybe 7 or 8. Anybody can beat anybody else. And Pennsbury beat North Penn fairly handily.
And the other games Norristown has, before that final home game, they have Harry S. Truman also at 4-2, and then they finish with a strong North Penn squad up in Lansdale.
Oh, and they've gotten these teams that are revitalized this year, teams that are improving. So you could say that, maybe there's not the one dominant team in Central Bucks West, but certainly the bottom is moving up towards the top, and when you have teams that are rising, they're always going to be tough.
Out on the field right now, we have the team captains for the toss of the coin. From left to right there for Norristown, you have number 4, Lamont Johnson, number 66, Jeff Fiss, number 51, Jason Fabian, and number 2, Damon Carroll. And we'll wait for the officials to tell us how the toss resulted here. It looks like Council Rock has won the toss, and they have elected to kick off. But we'll be sure of that in a moment. Norristown will receive, and they'll defend the goal to the right of your screen. The Eagles in their all-blue home uniforms. Council Rock tonight in their white uniforms. And, Walt, I think this is going to be a heck of a ball game. I mean, we've seen some home games here, against some lesser teams in the division, and I think this is their first true test at home for the Eagles.
This is definitely the best home game we're going to see here. And you add in the atmosphere of the homecoming, the Monday night atmosphere is just something different. And then you have Council Rock, who is really in a good position in this division, and Norristown, who is intent on playing spoiler and certainly has the talent to do that. So everything is just pointing toward a great, great high school football game.
Weather conditions tonight seem to be much better than they were 2 days ago when this game was scheduled to be played on a Saturday afternoon here at Roosevelt Field. Postponed due to rain. We've had no rain since Saturday. The field, though, is still pretty soft, Walt. And we can take a look from up here in the press box. You can see it's really torn apart in some spots. It's a shame. The grass really looks like it's got some big wear spots. I know the folks here for the district of doing their best to maintain it properly, but I think weather's just taken its toll a little bit. It is clear skies, though. Bit of a breeze might be a factor if either team has to go to the air tonight.
Well, this field really is being used a lot as well. They maintain it. It's very resilient, but it's been used a lot, and with the heavy rains that we've had, you can see where some of the water might settle in. We do have some bare spots, but I don't think we'll see much slipping at all. I think they'll probably get a good foothold. And as far as passing goes, I think most will be staying on the ground with the size of that Council Rock line.
Well, folks, with Norristown receiving, no doubt who the deep man for the Eagles are. That's number 2, Damon Carroll, the star running back for Norristown. Kicking off, number 7, Len Becker for the Indians. And they go almost with an onside kick taken by Ra-Ra Lusain at the 43-yard line. He's driven back and tackled by number 23, Jack Smith. But, Walt, boy, I'll tell you, can you imagine the respect that Damon Carroll engenders? They do a nub kick to start off the game?
Well, I would love to know if they're trying to surprise Norristown with what might be an onside kick. They certainly weren't in an onside formation, but or whether they're just afraid of Carroll.
To set the offense for Norristown at quarterback, number 8, A.J. Nadasic. In the backfield will be number 2, Damon Carroll, along with number 3, Lofton Thompson, and number 33, James Kelly. We'll give you the line and the outs in just a moment. First play from scrimmage. Nadasic goes to Carroll, up the middle. He's got room. He's in the secondary. Pickup, pardon me, Lofton Thompson, check that. Sorry about that, Lofton. Good pickup, 9 yards. Thompson through the middle. So that even I'm so in tune, I expect David to get the ball every time.
That's obviously who they're keying on.
Across the front for the Eagles, the center, number 51, Jason Fabian. The guards, number 54, Ra-Ra Lusain. Number 66, Jeff Fiss. At the tackles, number 71, Eric Schrader, and number 72, Irvin Chavu. We'll also see number 74, Dave Fazzini in there. And tight end, number 83, Kevin Shell. So it'll be second and short for the Eagles. An interesting back formation. This is the first we've seen this at home this year. This time it's a keeper by Nadasic. Good fake that time, kept the ball on his own. Looks like he's easily picked up the first down. And the ball is across midfield and into Council Rock territory. And it is first down Norristown. And the receivers you'll see tonight, folks, number 21, Joe Milligan, along with number 27, Rich Hicks. The defense for Council Rock, they play a 4-3-4 traditional set. Across the front, Jake Worrell, Kevin Carpuck, Scott Abbott, and Chris Montagino. The linebackers, R.J. Haynes, Matt Malone, and Dan Yang. First and 10. Nadasic, this time to Carroll off the right side. He lunges forward, picks up about 4 or 5 yards on the carry. The tackle made by number 21, the safety, Dan Peters. Those other defensive starters, number 25, Brad Thomas, number 11, Kevin Higgins, and number 34, Jim Galtieri. I hope I don't have to say that again tonight.
Galtieri?
I'm done. No, all those names.
Oh, okay.
Let's make it 4 yards on that last carry for Damon Carroll. Second and 6 from the 45-yard line. The pitch to Carroll on the outside. They bring him back inside. Carroll does a good job cutting back. Picks up probably 5 yards, close to the first down. We'll give him 5 that time. Won't make it third and short. Looks like about a yard there left to go.
And these are the situations that present Norristown with really a lot of possibilities. When you have a couple of backs who can break one long, Nadasic who can hit the short pass over the middle. I think Norristown will play it safe here and just try and keep driving the ball, but interesting to see how they come out in the first drive.
Nadasic on the keeper, this time straight off the line of scrimmage, following his center, Jason Fabian. Good defensive coverage that time by Kevin Carpuck, number 71, but I believe far enough for the first down. Yes, it is. There's the indication. So first down Eagles. Their second first down on this drive.
I think we're getting indications of how Norristown wants to play tonight by the fact that every play has included number 33, fullback James Kelly. Sometimes Norristown will go with just the one back with Carroll, or maybe 2 with Carroll and Thompson, and split Milligan and Hicks out wide. But here they go again with 3 backs. And I think they're just looking to play power football.
Yeah, just the one receiver here, number 21, Joe Milligan. This time the pitch to Carroll around the right side. Again, he cuts it inside, slips a tackler. He's got one man to beat. That's going to be a touchdown. Damon Carroll into the end zone, 37 yards for the score. Well, that didn't take very long, did it? Damon Carroll on a play we've seen so many times this year. Just a pitch off the right side. The Rock contained him, but he broke it free into the secondary.
Well, the thing is, Damon Carroll, almost every run we've seen this year, especially his long ones, he's cut it back to the inside. But you are so afraid of letting him get to the outside. You know, as soon as he turns that corner, he is gone. And teams are so afraid of it that they try to contain him, but Carroll is so slippery, doesn't help to contain him. He just blasts right through the middle.
On for the extra point, number 9, Albie Morano. The snap is down, the set is good, the kick is up, and that's good as well. So the Eagles with a very quick early lead here, 7-0 with 8:44 to play in the first quarter on a homecoming evening here at Norristown's Roosevelt Field.
And Jeff, you know, those runs they're electrifying, but it's almost routine now. Here you have a homecoming crowd, and it got applause as he was going in, but everybody just sort of expects it. And once Damon Carroll breaks the first couple of tackles and you see him get into that secondary, you know he's gone, and it's really not a surprise anymore. And that's a shame, because it really is something to appreciate.
Yeah, there was one Rock defender back on that who really still had a chance at Carroll, which is why I didn't call the touchdown before he gets into the end zone, which is usually what happens. That player did get an arm on him, but Damon was already at the goal line by the time that happened. And Walt, Albie Morano, the kicker for the Eagles, doing a fine job this year. That's Morano's 13th point after touchdown. He's among the scorers, leaders among kicking scorers this year. Had 18 points already coming into this ball game.
Yeah, well, that's what it takes. For the good teams, you just need to be solid on the point after. You don't really want to count on them to win games with the field goals, but as long as you're getting 7 every time you get in the end zone, that's all you can ask for.
Back deep for the Rock, number 22, Trevor Robinson, along with number 24, B.J. Heimer. Check that, number 34, Jim Gauteri. Gauteri takes it to the outside. He's got room to run. Finally brought down at about the 35-yard line. That's a good run back by number 34, Jim Gauteri. Gauteri that time coming from the near side of the field, taking it on a slant to the far side. Finally brought down, and will start the Council Rock offense, 1st and 10 from their own 36-yard line. In at quarterback, number 20, Sean Highland. They use a 3-back set, Frank Centimane, Jim Gauteri, and Jack Smith. The 2 backs in close. The last back through fumbles the ball. That was Gauteri, number 34. Recovered, though, his own fumble, and he falls forward for a pickup of about a yard. The other starters for Council Rock tonight, the receivers, number 9, Jim Laird, number 13, Matt Klingner. Across the front, number 61, Steve Taylor, number 68, Tony Kurtz, number 71, Chris Carpuck at center, number 50, Scott Abbott, number 67, Kevin Bowles, and a big tight end, 6'4", Jeff Gross, number 85.
And they're loading up that right side to try and run behind it, which is what they did last time.
They tried again. Gauteri through the middle, off tackle, and he's contained nicely by the Norristown defense. A short pickup again. It'll bring up 3rd and about 6 yards to go. And that Norristown front, it's a 5-man front, Walt. Left to right across the front, number 3, Lofton Thompson, number 79, James Ballard, number 30 at nose tackle, Will Gant, number 66, Jeff Fiss, and number 54, Ra Lusain. The 2 linebackers are 89, Al Zone, and 33, James Kelly. So 3rd and 6 from the 40-yard line. Sean Highland. Handoff goes to Gauteri, and he is just mauled that time by number 3, Lofton Thompson, and that'll bring up a quick 4th down before I could even finish setting the defense.
Yeah, that's for sure. And Lofton Thompson shoots off that end. They have him out there to be the playmaker. He's that 5th guy on what's their 5-man front. And Thompson really broke that play up nicely after twice they'd run to the right. But Norristown had Jeff Fiss over there on the right, and that's why Council Rock didn't get much yardage on their first 2 plays.
So back to receive for Norristown will be number 27, Rich Hicks, along with number 2, Damon Carroll. It's an end-over-end punt, hits at about the 29-yard line. Hicks lets it roll, and he's going to let it fall, and it'll be downed inside the 20-yard line. A good punt that time by number 7, Len Becker. Not fielded by the Eagles, and consequently they're backed up to their own 12-yard line to start this second offensive series for Norristown.
Yeah, it looks like Hicks had a little bit more room than he probably thought he did. That punt was pretty low from the start and hit the ground and was rolling, but those rolling punts are always dangerous, and with the field possibly a little bit slippery, you never know if you can pick it up. So don't want to make any mistakes here early with a 7-0 lead.
You know, an optimist would say that Norristown back this far just means that Damon can pad his statistics. He can go 87 yards instead of only 50 or so.
If he gets 15, he gets 80. That's the way he runs.
They go to Carroll around the right side. Carroll contained nicely. Good pursuit that time, and the tackle made looked like it was number 83. Pardon me, number 93, Matt Malone. These Council Rock numbers are too tight, too close. I can't make them out.
Yeah,
all the way back here.
the blue on the white. We're having
it's
trouble with
it's
that.
it's that dark blue on the white. I can't pick it out. It's dusk. That's the reason. Are the lights
Dusk,
on?
that's for sure.
Are the lights on? Turn the lights on. I'll be able to see much better. A pickup of only 2 yards on the carry. 2nd and 8 for Norristown. This time the quick give to James Kelly up the middle, and Kelly does a fine job following his blocker through the middle of the line, and I believe he's got a first down there, Walt. We'll take a look where the spot is. First down, Eagles. Good solid run. Let's call it a 10-yard pickup for James Kelly.
And so far, Jeff Fiss has controlled both sides of the line for Norristown. That time Kelly ran right up behind him. And Kelly, being the fullback, not their quickest back, but had a huge hole to get up there. And once he hit the first man, got a couple more yards to fight for the first down. But Jeff Fiss, after stopping Council Rock almost single-handedly on the first drive, now blows open a hole for a Norristown first down.
So once again, the Eagles with 2 backs split, a flanker. They come to Carroll to the weak side. Again, he's got running room. Bounces off 2 tackles. He's brought down, though, after picking up what looks like 6 or 7 yards. We'll wait until the pile unfurls here. Well, it's closer to 8 yards. Let's give him 8 yards on the carry. Make it 2nd down and 2 from the Norristown 32-yard line.
And it's so frustrating to play against Norristown and Carroll because it's almost a wasted man if a man gets into the backfield. That time, number 56, Todd Baldwin, was in for the Indians, and Carroll just stopped, looked at him, cut right inside him, and Baldwin missed him by about 2 feet. So with Baldwin out of the play, he was able to pick up some good yardage.
This time Carroll lines up in the slot. Thompson and Kelly in the backfield. Goes to Kelly again. First down and more. James Kelly up to the 40-yard line of Norristown. Picks up a good 7 yards on the carry and a Norristown first down. So the Eagles really not having any problems at all with ball control tonight, Walt.
No, not at all, and they're using all 3 of their backs, but James Kelly looking better every game. That time, he just followed his blockers so well, and that's what you want your fullback to do is not get out there and start taking people on until he's into the secondary. And that time, with Norristown taking a couple men out of his path, he really busted up there like a fullback should.
Once again, Milligan wide to the right. Backs in the eye. The pitch goes to Carroll to the far side. Looks to turn it outside, contained very well that time, and he's thrown for a 5-yard loss. Good job that time of pursuit by the Council Rock defense.
Yeah, it was number 21, Dan Peters, who was down around Carroll's ankles, and that's a place to get him, to try and stop those quick feet. And as Peters strung him out and almost tripped Carroll up, he allowed number 93, Matt Malone, to get in and finish him off.
So the Eagles now with 2nd and 15, pushed back to their own 35-yard line. This time Milligan to the near side. The Dosick checking off on the play with one of his carriers. They go to pass. He's got pressure. He got to get rid of the ball, and he is sacked. Boy, that time there was looks like no block at all put on Matt Malone from his middle linebacker spot. He was back in the backfield before Nadasic even turned to set.
Well, you can see there's a little bit of confusion there, and it looked like the confusion was on who was going to block that man on the end. And the play was designed to roll away from that man, but you certainly don't want to let him come in completely untouched, and that's what he did. And the smart just to tuck the ball away.
Yeah, that was certainly a dangerous play there. Easily could have been a fumble. It was a 7-yard loss. So the Eagles now, after I talked about how well they were controlling the ball, face 3rd and 22. Line of scrimmage, their own 28-yard line. Again, Nadasic sending a man out to the right. He's got Damon Carroll lined up out there. The quick hit. They look for Milligan up top. Good defensive play that time by the Indians. That was number 22, Trevor Robinson, in there to deflect that ball and break up the play. So the Eagles will be forced to punt, facing 4th and 22. And normally that's number 2, Damon Carroll, who does the punting chores as well.
Well, Council Rock, with that good punt, now has worked themselves into pretty good field position where they can just try to eat up only half the field with their size.
Back deep for the Indians on the far side is Ortman. Carroll's kick is low, very low. That's going to be big advantage for the Indians, and they'll allow it to roll out of bounds. This side of midfield at the Norristown 49-yard line. So Damon Carroll, he looked rushed a bit there, Walt. It looked like he was worried about pressure up the middle.
There was a man coming straight up the middle, but he was picked up well. But that's what happens. I'm sure Norristown doesn't spend a whole lot of time on special teams, especially when Damon Carroll, I'm sure, has other things to do. Don't get me wrong, they're very important, but Carroll's just out there because he's probably got one of the best legs. That time he was a little rushed. Looked like he almost went off the bottom of his foot. And as I said, Council Rock now only half the field to work.
Now a much different set here by the Indians. They have 3 men to the left. Highland goes back, a little screen pass to his back. There's a flag on the play. It's going to be a big gainer if it's not brought back by that penalty. That was number 23 on the reception, tailback Jack Smith. Let's wait and see what the call is. It was thrown right at about the line of scrimmage, which often indicates some kind of a motion penalty or perhaps a hold. Lamont Johnson indicating it's against Council Rock, and it would seem to be, as the Indians are backing up here quickly.
And usually on those screen plays that go to the side, you'll see a hold or something like that. It might have been somebody holding Jeff Fiss as he was coming in, because oftentimes you'll let that man on the far side just come in and pull your guard or your tackle out to the side of the screen. That's the idea of the screen, is to get somebody out in front of the running back. So sometimes you'll see a hold as somebody starts to come in and they think he's coming in a little bit too fast and not going to let the play develop. And that time I think that's what we had.
Yeah, we did have a holding call. Backs up the Indians 10 yards to their own 41-yard line. 1st and 20 now for Council Rock. Long count, backs out of the eye. Highland keeps the ball, looks over the middle. He's got a man open. That time he was looking for his tight end, number 85, Jeff Gross. Hit Gross on the hands, but he couldn't maintain possession. It was a good, solid hit there by Norristown.
I think Gross knew he was going to be hit, too, and even if you're 6'4", 238, as Gross is, you're over the middle, and you see that ball up high, you know you're going to expose your midsection. And I think he knew that there's probably somebody lurking in the area and didn't quite extend to his fullest height.
Nice, solid hit there by the Eagles with 1:14 to play here in the first quarter. Norristown is up on top, 7-0. It's now 2nd and 20, and Council Rock really showing us a lot of different offensive sets here in the first quarter. This time they bring a man in motion to the near side. The quick handoff to Galtieri. Good pursuit by Ra-Ra Lusain. Boy, I'll tell you, James Kelly was there to finish him off, but what a fine play by Lusain. We really saw some quickness.
Yeah, well, that's the strength of Norristown's line, is their quickness. They've been, the 2 games they've been beaten this year, they've been dominated by size on the front line and given up a lot of rushing yards. But that time, Lusain just held his ground and then was quick enough to get off of his block and bring the back down.
So now we come up with 3rd and 18. We'll call it a 2-yard pickup on that play. And again, Council Rock goes with 3 wideouts to the left, the single tailback. Highland. The same play we saw before. The screen pass is dropped. So that'll bring up 4th and long. They tried to go for that same play that had worked nicely, had been brought back by the holding call, but that time Jack Smith couldn't hold on to it, so the Rock will have to punt.
I think we've seen that if Council Rock starts to get involved in penalties and hurting themselves and losing yardage, they're going to be in trouble, because obviously they don't have much of a downfield passing game. It's mostly a running game, and if they do throw, they're going to throw short and let their skill people handle it.
So once again, it's Hicks and Carroll back. Pressure by zone. The punt is blocked. That'll be recovered by Norristown. It's their ball anyway. 1st and 10, Norristown at the Council Rock 35, number 89, Al Zone, blasted into the backfield. And you know, it reminded me of the Philadelphia Eagles game yesterday, where the Giants blocked the punt, and they were so far in the Eagles' backfield you couldn't believe it. Well, that was Al Zone on that play right there.
That's for sure, and he really was in. Al Zone had a clean look at the punter and was able just to reach his hands up, almost stopped and block that.
Zone almost had time to tackle him.
And he made the recovery himself, too. So Al Zone, a heads-up play on special teams. And if you happen to see the Times Herald Coaches Roundtable, which they do such a good job with, you saw that the coaches talking about how important the special teams are. And there you go right there. Council Rock slow to kick the ball, and Al Zone, a great individual play on special teams, and Norristown sitting pretty right now.
And that's the end of the first quarter, folks. So after 12 minutes of play, the Eagles are up on top, 7-0. The big play in that first quarter, a 37-yard Damon Carroll run from scrimmage for a touchdown. And the Eagles, great opportunity here with that blocked punt. They'll have it 1st and 10 from the 35-yard line of the Indians. And Walt, I have to tell you, this is the games that I viewed this year, the home games and the game up at CB West. I'm most impressed by Norristown's performance tonight. They really seem solid on defense, and the offense sputtered a little bit on that last possession, but they seem to have a good game plan in place tonight.
Well, yeah, they have struggled on defense, and they've struggled against teams that are bigger than them. Council Rock has a huge line, but Norristown is holding their ground and not getting pushed at all. So if they do that, they're going to win a lot of games because it's not often that you're going to hold the Norristown offense down.